First 15 minutes of this session, the speakers will introduce themselves, starting with Mustaq Ahmed.
I can start.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Uh, Hello everyone. Good evening. So, uh, okay, I'll just start with the PPT. It will be helpful for you as well. Please confirm if you're able to see my when I share the screen. That would be helpful. Rigom, can you see it?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, hello. Myself, Mustaq Ahmed. I'm a final year BTech student at RCC IIT. Uh, I'm a front-end developer and I work mainly on React. And also, I am proficient in other languages. You can say Java, C, and Python. I will be one of the speakers that will be conducting this workshop. Along with me, there will be three other friends, and the topic that we'll be covering, which is tomorrow, it will be understanding programming design principles, where we will be talking about the problem solving techniques, basically how you approach a problem when it's presented to you, how you how you think about it, what could be the possible situations and scenarios and constraints, the all the different things. Okay, and we'll also be talking about the flowcharts and pseudocodes there. How you like how do you think about the code, how you think about the problem, how you're going to solve it. And we'll also be talking about how we write clean and reusable code. More on that tomorrow. Of course, I will tell everything about that. And so I will now hand over to my to the other speaker, Shumodip Begum.
Okay,
Please.
so the next speaker is Shomodip Dotto.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Swamindeep, and let me just present it. Okay, can you see it, Rikom?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, so I'll be the designer guy here. I know you guys want to learn about coding and all. And believe me, it's good. But if you go towards little non-technical stuff like designing and understanding about prototypes and how you build a product and what is the intent or reason behind it, or how you work on what people see and what people think when they see. So these kind of things I'll be covering mostly non-technical and not related to coding, not very much cryptic. It will be very easy, very less stressful, or I don't know, maybe. So let's talk about myself. There is not much, but I'm the graphics lead of Google developer group in my college. I also have done some freelance work as a designer, as a 3D developer, not a 3D developer, as a 3D sculptor, and also as a video editor. I have worked in some agencies where like they have produced industrial level of videos. You have seen them in YouTube in many popular channels also. Also, I have co-founded a company called KVR where we sell posters and design related things. We also partner up with other creators, other designers as well. So that's all about me. These are all the tools that I use, that I proficiently I can use. But in for this workshop we'll be using the Figma for web development or web designing basically, and other design related stuff. So the question might be why there is a need for designing in coding related things. Well, whatever you are building, because when you will be coding, obviously there is a mathematical approach towards it. You will understand the problem and you will solve it, but you will solve very real life problem that will be useful for the public. So whatever you are creating, maybe a product or a service or a web page or anything, whatever you are creating, you will be posting it online in the website, in the internet, and people need to see that thing. So if people need to see that thing, there should be some visual element that should be perfectly fitted for that perfect job, so that it will be pleasing for the human eye and the experience will be good. So this combination of design elements and the backend approach, that how you think that people actually thinks, this all thing combines called as UI and UX, user interface and user experience. And how to do it? Well, it can be as complex, like you can go very deep into the very nicks and crannies of it. But simply, if we talk about it, first you discover and understand what are the requirement there is, then you make a plan or a strategy how you're going to solve it, then you actually execute. After your execution is done, there is a feedback loop. If it is actually good for the team or for the brand or for the company, then it's okay. If it's not, it go back to the strategy, you change the strategy, and again you execute, and you again go back to the feedback loop. And after some revisions, the products, when it's finally done, it is actually completely published by you to the internet, and you can actually see what people are saying and looking at it. Thank you for your time. That's all from my side. Now I'll hand over to Esha for another um, another or team leader. She will also talk about her own domain. Thank you.
Okay, so the next speaker is Esha Tokedar.
Okay, yeah. Am I visible?
Yes.
Hold on, let me just share my screen once again. Alright, so hello everyone. My name is Esha Tokdar. I'm a pre-final year student pursuing BTech in Information Technology. I'm a full stack web developer and I work with React, Node.js, Express.js, MongoDB, REST APIs, etc. as you can see here. So, for a little background, in my first year of college, I co founded a coding community called Noob Code, which gained over 900 plus members from different colleges of West Bengal. I posted webinars and I hosted webinars and coding competitions, organized resource materials for students who were very new to coding and emerging technologies. Since then, I've participated in multiple hackathons and built projects, both personal as well as collaborative. Okay, so enough about me, I think. Let's discuss what we are here for. In this boot camp, I'll be taking a session on Git, GitHub, and version control. Let's skim through what that's all about very briefly. Okay, so why are we learning this? Why is version control important? First of all, it helps in collaboration and teamwork. Okay, so whenever you are working on a project with other people, for example, you're working with your friends or you're in a corporate environment collaborating with your other co-workers, a version control becomes very essential for avoiding conflicts and overwriting each other's code. Next, we have maintaining code history and tracking changes. So with version control, you can log your coding history. You can log every change and revert back to it in the code. Okay. And the next one is experimentation. So here we have things like branching and merging, which allows us to experiment with new features without tampering with our original code. All right. So next we have why should we use Git and GitHub? Of course, you'll understand why once you'll learn more about it and use it yourself. But these are some of the basic reasons why. One, it's secure and reliable. Next, it's fast. And of course, the features that I talked about before branching, merging, and remote collaboration, which I'll expand on further on. All right. What will be covered in my session? I'll be going through introduction to version control, essential Git commands, understanding Git and GitHub and what is the difference between them. And then finally, we'll have hands on demo and practice sessions. So, yeah, all right, that's all from me. I hope everyone is pumped about this. So, yeah, bye.
Okay, so our final speaker is Jeet Ghosh.
Hello, am I visible and audible?
Yes.
Okay, let me share my screen as well. Okay, so the mood has been very serious, so let's light it up a little. Uh, so it's programming is simply copy pasting code, the basic things. Yes. Uh, and okay, so let's light up with a meme. And then about me. Okay. So I am Jeet Ghosh. Yeah, I'm a pre-final year student from Bengal Institute of Technology, and I really do participate in hackathons, and I have won this year Smart India Hackathon and uh, last season of Smart Bengal Hackathon, and I have been runner up in ICPDM and Mozo has been Mozilla. Okay. And some of my experience where I have been an intern at Achintya Web Solutions, a startup, where I've been in a position of DevOps, where I like implemented code solutions or programs and deployed them. And yeah, and I currently am a DevOps lead at Google Developer Group of Bengal Institute of Technology. Okay, enough about me. Okay, so let's see what we'll be doing in this 12-day bootcamp for learning programming. So from me, you will be learning Pythons from basics to advanced concept. Okay, and we will be seeing how Pythons can like really help in real world problems applications. Okay, and we all will be together collaborating and making a mini project. And at last, there will be some coding contest. Of course, we four of us will be there, teach our own part, and in the mini project, we will be accumulating all of that knowledge what we have got, and then at last we'll be contesting in a coding contest, and yeah, there will be some prizes for who will win. And why this bootcamp is basically for becoming confident in Python programming, of course. Same thing, building real world mini projects. Okay, so the part that Asa told, gaining experience with GitHub collaborations, like if multiple of you programs together, programming together, so how we will do it and all, and at last, of course, contest. So why this bootcamp? So people attending here are from various backgrounds, I hope. Okay, many are from like biology department, many are from literature department, and yeah, programming is needed in all of them. It can help your like daily life issues in all sectors, from web development. Like if you want to build a portfolio, suppose someone is good in literature and wants to show it to others. So if anyone wants to build a portfolio, it would be great if you have built it on a website so that they can share a link and it's voila. So data science and machine learning, those who are from mathematics and statistics, they know very well that playing with data, what is it and how crucial it is in today's world, right? And even those who are from mathematics and statistics, they also know the cryptography stuff, cyber security, and, and all of us will be using automation and scripting. That's one of the best thing about programming is we can automate the things that we do in real life. Okay, of course we'll be working on that. Some of you might be game enthusiasts or gamers, so they can also make their own games. It's very easy. Okay, and finance and fintech applications, of course, we are using today UPI and stuffs that are all built upon some programming only. An application on biology, bioinformation, and biotech, we'll learn about it, right? From using data of plants to today's medical science, everywhere programming is being used, right? And let me share the 12-day. I'm just overviewing what we'll do in this 12-day I hope this PDF has been shared with you in the group. Okay. So first, this is the day one, 2 days, right? That we are learning about what is Python and all, and the various stuffs like web development, where how it will use. I will show you how where programming is being used and how you can solve real life problems. Okay. And in the day two, we'll be uh, like seeing designing and concepts. Mustaq and Somudip will be taking this day. Like they will be showing how you can approach to programming and how flowcharts and pseudocodes works, how you can write clean codes and maintainable codes because not, uh, programming doesn't mean that it have to be solution oriented. It must be change oriented or it can be revised and maintained, right? And Somodhi will be taking web designs and prototyping. He will show how to make designs and all. Okay, then Python fundamentals. I will be taking these things like variable data types, how to take input in a program, how to take show output, like basic operators and expression. I'll show some of them today as well. Okay, then conditional statements, if, else if, then loops, then we'll go with data structures. So these are some of the topics in Python only. And functions and modules, I'll be taking them. File handling, like working with real life text file, Word file, right? You're working with some image files. We'll be editing through programming. Okay, we'll do that stuff. Then object-oriented programming. Here we'll learn how to program with certain rules and regulations that we generally maintain or see, and then, of course, we will be dealing with error and exception handling. But if we get an error, how to handle with that, and many more stuff. And then we'll move towards some of the advanced topics. Okay. And then comes a mini project. We'll be making a project. Either we'll be choosing from this four, or we can choose any of real life problem and try to solve it with along with everyone. Okay, not only me. Everyone will be doing. Okay. Then Asa will be taking the introduction to Git and GitHub. Okay. So he will be doing that, and at last there will be a programming contest, and of course there will be prize for top performers, of course. So coming back to this page. So anybody having any questions? Any of you?
Any questions regarding the motivation of this boot camp will be accepted full-heartedly.
Any
So-
topic related to technology, programming, computer science.
Okay, so anything related to technology.
Anything, anything you can ask.
Any questions? Anyone?
Guys, don't be scared of the meme. It is just for fun and stuff. You can ask questions freely.
See, any of the topics that we talked about, and you think we should have started it from a more basic or scratch level, and you want to know about it, just ask us anything, right?
Or if anyone wondering that how programming will help them or in their field, maybe. Anyone? Any questions from Rigam and Pornovo, your sides as well? Is welcomed.
Hey, let's ask them questions now.
Okay, we can.
What are you thinking of asking them?
I'm thinking how many of them have actually done some programming stuff before.
Yeah, anyone?
Yeah,
If
yeah, we
any
can
of
do
you have done any type of programming or technical stuff, you can say about it.
See, try to make it interactive. It will be fun for you guys as well.
Python.
Huh?
that. Someone is
I
responding.
have done
Yeah.
practice of Python, like syntax.
Slightly louder, please.
Yes, Aniket, say
I
please.
have done I have done basics of Python and syntax, not more than.
Okay.
Okay, you have done basics of Python.
Have you printed Hello World?
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yes. Then you are a programmer, bro.
That's the main thing. Okay, anyone other than Aniket?
Okay, I have been doing some stuff like web development shit.
Oh,
Okay,
damn.
and I don't know how. मतलब मुझे पता नहीं मैं कितना अच्छा हूँ, but I'm
No
still
one
doing.
is good. Let me tell you, Asmit, no one is good actually. But if you have started, you are good enough.
Like trying, still trying and doing.
Hmm. Great.
Hi
Anyone else?
everyone.
Hi, Jyoti.
Hi,
Jyoti
my
Rajan.
name is
Jyoti
Jyoti. I'm
Ranjan.
from Mathematics Department, Presidency University, third year. Uh, I have done some basics of Java, C, and C++, and once I made a simple code to for a restaurant management system kind of, and
Damn.
Oh,
Okay, that's
nice.
nice.
and I
That's
also
That's
interesting.
nice.
practice on HackerRank.
Oh, you
Oh,
Nice,
practice on
nice, nice.
HackerRank. What's
good,
your
good.
rank
It's very
in
bad. So
Java? In Java.
I think
Okay,
it's about something 10,000 something. So it's bad.
okay,
Okay.
Jyoti Ranjan, like, what's the primary language that you use
Java.
most of the time? Okay, so how far have you gone in Java?
Uh, how do I explain that?
In the sense you just said you made a, I think, restaurant management system, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So have you
So
used the database and
Actually,
all?
that was what to say. That was kind of an assignment in my school, so I did that.
So you did Chat
so
GPT or did you learn it?
you
No,
you
no, I
did that
did
in
it
your
myself.
school.
No chat GPT and
I
something.
would have done the Chat GPT thing.
Array, he did it in
Actually,
school. At that time, ChatGPT
at
wasn't.
that time, I don't think chat
Oh,
GPT and this AI was so much common, so
that's
I
in
didn't knew about
school.
it.
In school, I see. I see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so you are familiarized with the OOP part, I think.
Object-oriented programming.
The four pillars of OOP, if you term
Yeah,
it so. Yeah, that's nice.
Nice, yaar. Jyoti Ranjan, you are ahead of the class.
no, actually not that. I think that's why I joined the bootcamp so that I can learn more.
Okay. Nice. Anyone else?
I learned some Java in class 9th and 10th.
Oh,
Okay.
now I see.
ICSE
Some of you
background.
people are from ICSE and ICSE also had the coding thing in their high school, I
Yeah, I
guess.
am from
Yes, me as
ICSE
well.
board.
Oh, so everyone is
Okay.
somehow relatable to
How
coding and stuff, right?
how many of you are from ICSE? Because if people are there, and CBSE also, I think there were programming
Then a
also.
lot of
But
people are from ICSE. 8.
yeah, right. Yeah, that's nice. You will. It will
You'll
be. It
easier
will be
for
good.
you
Yeah.
guys.
But others, don't worry. We will be discussing from scratch, so that everyone will be able to understand it.
Hmm.
So anybody wondering what is programming and what kind of
Yeah.
thing is this? Anybody? Who has no idea.
I guess the whole class is familiar with what is coding and what is programming. Uh, Maybe also.
Let's see
Can
if
you
they.
elaborate a bit more on Figma? You said now Figma you
Sure,
want
Okay.
to use for.
that
I see. I
that's a
see.
forte.
See, whenever you do things in like digitally, you need an app or a tool or some kind of service that is provided by other developers so that your work become easier, right? For example, you calculate with a calculator, but there are different calculators you can download specifically for your need. So as a designer, there are other designing tools, and one of them is Figma, and Figma is very much used for development like web development or app development or any other kind of like basic designing also. So Figma is just an app that will help you to build graphical elements for your project, like a website or an app.
Shomadip, you might as well turn on your camera. I think that would be helpful.
Okay, people are okay. Should I? Hi.
Yeah, that's better.
Should I also open Figma and show them a little bit about it?
Yes, you.
You can,
Yeah,
but
it will be very good.
Good only, na? Okay.
yeah.
See, I don't have any games because it's a Mac, sorry, but people have preferences and they use tools, they use apps, right? Someone like to use Safari, someone likes to use Brave. Just like that, there are different designing tools, different coding tools that you can use. So I have Figma. It is open right now. This is the interface that you see. It is how the app looks. And inside this app, there are different tools like
Can you please
I
share
don't
the screen?
think.
The screen is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
I
visible
think your
actually.
screen
Oh,
is not.
oh my god, sorry.
Brother, what you doing?
Very basic mistake, huh? You can see, na? I guess.
Yeah, now
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
visible.
yeah. You can
Thank
begin now.
you.
Okay, so this is the logo of the app, and this is the app itself. It has two parts: the main viewport in the middle, where you will do all this thing. Okay, on the left you have the layers page. There will be every other element in the project. So if you're working with any text, any kind of logos, icons, or anything that you're working with, that'll be on the left side, and you can select that element and you can change it on the right side. So that is the basic analogy, like the basic anatomy of the sorry, not analogy, anatomy of the app, right? um, right now, as you can see, I was designing a banner as well as a brochure for an ongoing hackathon in our college. So you can do that thing as well. You can create logo, like this is called a mood board. Okay, so it's a board where you draw out every other inspiration and imagination that you can have according to your project, and you can just roughly sketch it or draw it, or you can use other shapes, like complex shapes are there like this. You can be making fluid shapes like that. You can add shadows, colors. It's just basically an art paper. You can draw everything using all these elements. You can make things like this that will be like looking professional. And I tried to copied a basic user page. It can be, it is somehow looking like a Twitter wala thing, but yeah, you can also make some mockups and stuff. So this is basically Figma. It's a tool we'll be using to make the website.
And one more thing, Shomadip, switch to Figma.
Yes.
Okay, so some might be thinking that how is this screen? It's like so big. It's like you can go more to the right and right and right and to the left and down and up. Right, Shomadip. So what we use here, it's like a whiteboard. So it's like it's not the case that it's an A4 page where you have the dimensions are limited. We work on a whiteboard there. So it's like you can have many things on a single page. You can work on it and you can zoom and zoom.
So
Stuff like that.
if you look at this work only na, so on the very top left, what I have are the inspirations. These are some ongoing hackathons from different colleges. So these are the inspiration. Then I made my own color palette. So I said ki, okay, if I want to make my banner, I'll use only these colors. Okay, so I made the color palettes. Now I have this mood board where I put other logos and similar logos. I created some custom logos as I say. Then using this, I came out to this logo. I select the text. I made some basic mock-up, showed it to my team. When they said it's good enough, then I started building the actual brochure. Then page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. So it's an infinite area you can use to create any type of design you want. You can use, if you're like an artist, you can have digital pen tools like pen tabs and all, and you can literally design on it. So it's a complete tool for any designer. You can do crazy stuff with it. It's like Photoshop. You guys are familiar with Photoshops, right? So Photoshop is also a designer
So
tool.
I have one like small question regarding that.
Please.
So can you just link the A4 pages with the like a big chart like thing, a mood board kind of thing?
Can I link them? What?
I think
I
Rigom.
like
Wait, Rigom. I think Rigom is trying to say how we insert a A4 page over there. I think.
yeah, actually. So
Yeah,
How we
I'm
insert a
very
page?
bad at framing
there's
questions. So
already a.
It's okay. It's
No, no,
okay. I have Mustaq from my side. Okay, see, let me tell you something. You don't make pages here. You make something called as frames. Okay, so let me tell you the concept of a frame. So what frame is, let's say this is a frame, okay, and if I want to put this logo inside the frame, and somehow the logo is somewhere like bigger than the frame, then you'll see it's like cutting the rest of the part by itself. I don't have to do any other things, right? So it's a frame. My size is limited here, and I cannot put anything bigger than this. It will just cut it off, and it is what we need. Okay, we need a confined space where we'll do the design. So this is the frame, and if I make a rectangle that also looks similar to this, and if I put the same logo here and it is bigger than it, then you'll see ki it is crossing borders, so it is not inside this confined space. Okay, so we always use a frame, and uske upar we do the designing. So how a frame is used, how to make a frame, you can do it many ways. Okay, you come to the very bottom, you have this icon, a cross type of icon. When you click it, it generates a frame, right? But you can do it by pressing F on the keyboard as well. So if I click on F, you have this section open. Now you can make a frame of an Android, iPhone. These are just the dimensions. The naming is like random. Okay, if I click on iPhone, this will be the frame of an iPhone. Okay, but if you again go to the frame page, you'll see you have phone frames, then you have tablet frames. Let's bring a Surface tablet. This is the Surface tablet wala frame. Let's press F again. If I go to desktop and select MacBook, so this is a little bigger. So everything is like real scaled, real life scaled. So this is an iPhone, this was a tablet, this was the laptop. There are other options as well, like paper. If you go under paper, there'll be A4. If you click on A4, there'll be A4 size, right? And let me again do it. There is A5 as well. So A5 is a little smaller than A4, almost as half. And there are other things like you can make your own frame. You can just drag it and make it as big or as small as you want, and this is your frame. So that's how you build a frame in Figma. Now whatever you do in your design, you put it inside the frame. Okay,
the logo is white.
now it's black, but it's not a logo, to be honest. It's SVJ, and it has some other elements. So let me just put it this only. So you do your design like this. Okay, now this selecting and holding and all this mouse work and keyboard work, you have to be familiar with dragging and stuff. I guess most of you guys are.
And I think the commands are different for Windows and Mac.
Sure. Like
Yeah.
they're kind of similar. Like Alt and Option are inversely changed. Then Shift is common for both of them, and I guess Control and Command are inversely changed.
Right.
So what I just told you, like Control, Command, Option, Alt, these are all the keyboard keys that you press and hold down and use your mouse to move with characters and other elements and stuff. So they change with devices, but they won't stop you from making good designs. If you guys have any questions regarding Figma or anything, you can ask.
So Figma can be used as a front end thing so that we can remake our own ideas, and after that we can see them and code later
See,
on.
yes. So what happens is in this, I told you in order to build a project, there are few steps, right? So in the process of execution, the execution is a two step process. Okay, first you build a prototype, and then you put the prototype into the feedback loop. When the prototype is confirmed by the users, then you build the product. Okay, so generally what happens, used to happen few years back, we used to design the website or web app in Figma, just the design part. That is actually the prototype part. Okay, so we used to design the website or app in Figma, and we used to show it to our users and clients.
Shomadip,
Yes,
Don't you have a like website designed on Figma file?
I have.
That would be much helpful, I think.
Okay, let me see if I have.
Yeah.
Okay, few people have done it. Let me just show you. There are some generic website and there are some complex websites. So let me put a generic website, not this one. Sorry. Okay, this is a very simple prompt that a student has made. Okay, so let's say in future you make a brand called Aura, right? And you are selling essentials like hoodies and shoes and watches for the public, and you want to sell it online. You can sell it through Flipkart and stuff, or the sophisticated way will be you make your own website, right? And you have something in your mind, so you talk with your designers and you say to your designer, okay, we are selling this, and our website needs to be look like that. And the website designer or whatever, you itself, you can be the designer. You created a design file, which is this one. These are made up with basic elements, like it has text, it has color, squares are there, circles are there. So all of these are called visual elements, and all these elements put together becomes the actual product, which is the website. So here we can see design of one website, right? So this is the actual design. Now a few years back, what used to happen, we use Figma for the design part, then we send it to a developer, and then the developer or the coder actually codes it out, and then the website is actually made, right? It is actually published in the internet. But now tools have become much more like simpler for people, so you can actually publish a whole website just from Figma also, using some other plugins and tools like Framer is there. So if you use Framer by Figma, after designing it through Figma, it can be directly published in internet without writing a single line of code. But we are here
Okay.
for coding purposes, so we'll try not to go for simpler tools, because coding by itself gives a very good understanding of things. But there are tools, okay. Right now what is happening after AI has come, I guess most of you know about that. There are many tools that helps you do things very easily, right? You want to make a website, it will be done within a second. You want to make an app, web app, or maybe any kind of profile page, you need a summarized story or something. It all can be done through AI, and other tools are there obviously. But understanding the fundamentals of coding, or understanding the fundamental of any skill, is better than getting it done by easier or simpler tools.
Okay.
Any other
Thank you.
questions? Yeah, you're welcome,
Okay, so
Usman.
Shoboshachi is like interested in knowing about Git and GitHub a bit. So
Okay.
if it can be like explained in a overall kind of thing, so that will be very good.
Okay, I think Aisha is there for it.
Okay, yeah. So Git and GitHub is basically, in
From the present.
simpler terms, sorry.
You continue.
Yeah. So in simpler terms, it's like it's used for collaboration. Okay, so you are working on something remotely from your computer, but suppose somebody else is also working on it. Okay, so how will that person know what changes you're making, what you're actually doing? So for example, you are working with a friend of yours from your college, or you are working in a company where other co-workers are there. So it's very important to maintain a history of the code that you're writing. Or for example, you make a mistake, okay, but you want to revert back to the original code, which was fine, okay, which had no mistakes. But you can't do that if you don't maintain a history of the code. So these are like the primary reasons why you should be using GitHub and version control, I think. Is that clear enough?
So keeping history of codes and like collaborating codes, there are many like website. I don't know. I'm just guessing that there are a couple of websites like that. So what makes like GitHub so special and so celebrated kind of thing?
GitHub is open source, okay? So it has like a various it has like a lot of advantages. Like you can just work on other people's pre-built projects. You can it's basically like a cloud platform where everybody can work on anybody's code. So it has a lot more resource. It is like very dependable, and yeah, that's pretty much why it's very vastly used.
Yeah, I think Git and GitHub, GitHub is mostly like when you post your photos on Instagram, right? People look at it and see it. So it's not just like that. Other people can edit your photos. That is not possible in Insta, although. But I'm saying ki GitHub is a place where you publish your work specifically related to coding, and there are other coders who can maybe help you and maybe learn from you, or maybe teach you something. Okay, this is wrong, and maybe you can add up this and that, or you can use GitHub as a portfolio later in your career. So it's an online platform of showcasing, so you can showcase your code and stuff, and there are other coders. And just because GitHub is very widely used and many people are using it, many coders are using it, it's a good network where you can actually collaborate, learn, and find good people who are actively coding and actively in the space. So it's a collaborative space, and if you go into the details, it's very powerful actually. When you're doing a lot of coding and you're doing coding with other teams and other coders, it'll be very useful to do the editing, like editing of codes and collaborating of codes very easily. And yeah, it's an open source model.
If it
It's
is not a
basically a
visual,
social
can we
media
get
for
like one
code.
visual
Yeah,
representation
it's
of from one of your
Jeet,
GitHubs?
Jeet,
Huh?
GitHub Air Visual. Can you show
Yeah,
GitHub?
yeah, I can show. I can show. I can show.
Hmm.
Okay. Hope it's visible.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the basic. If I go to github.com, you need to make an account first. So this is my account, right? So here in the middle, you are seeing the codes of others. So what's trending right now? This is, you can see trending repositories and all. So you have your own account. So if I go to my profile, you can see this is my profile. So here you can write stuff like I have written, hi, I'm Jeet, currently working on this, so that things. Okay, so here comes your repository. So what is a repository? It's a like a folder that you have in your computer. It's the folder of codes. So if I go to the repository tab of mine, I can show the different apps and softwares that I have made, right? So suppose if I open this, there's a website for my college fest. So you can see contributors. So there were 3 people who are coding simultaneously with me in this like project, right? And if I go to the contributors, so this is why GitHub is required for like using simultaneously multiple people can work on a same project. Yeah, let it load. Yeah. So you can see I have like written here 18,000 lines of code. And this person has written 140 lines of code. This person has written 55 lines of code. Right, these things. And if I go to some other repos, okay. And one more thing, if I go to the overview, okay. So these are some of the trending repos, right? So these are all projects that are made for free by people like us developers. They do projects and all. So I can simply go to anyone's project, and this is called README. The README of a repository is basically a self-explanatory text or a
Documentation.
file that explains itself here. So these are projects made by someone, so S1, and I can literally do a fork. So you can see fork. So if I click here fork, it will do a copy of the same project in my profile, and then I can work on this project according to my minds, right? The same files will be copied to my profile, and then now I can do stuff, edit stuffs here only. right? So, and here you can get some matrices that what language is used as a Python based project, who are the contributors. So you can, so if you become a programmer and you want to show your works, you just need to share your GitHub profile and everyone will know what you have made, what all things that you are working on, and they can help you or understand you what kind of work you do and all. Yeah. And if I go to the commits, this is the thing that as I was talking, the history of course. See, these were the histories that people have made changes. These are the changes, and you can revert back to any of the changes. You revert back if anything goes wrong or anything you want from the previous thing. So you can revert back to any of the things. Yeah. And after Microsoft have acquired GitHub, it has become the most popular online code repository, and it had made unlimited repos, free unlimited repos for everyone. Yeah, so it's most popular kind of right now. Anyone, any questions related to any other topics?
Okay, I would want to add something. I think we haven't targeted the main question, like what
What is
is a
Python?
version control? Wait, what is
Oh
a
my
version
God.
control, and why do we need that thing in the first place? So I will try explaining with a simple example, if I'm able to think of a good one right now. Suppose, okay, suppose you are making a CV, right? Everyone will be needing a CV, and at one time or at one go you made a CV, you downloaded the or exported the PDF file, and you were good, you were okay with it, you were good with it, and then you suddenly were like, no, I think I should have used a different font, or maybe I should have used a different font. What's that called? Size, right? Maybe I should have used a different font size. Maybe I should have added this, or I shouldn't have added this. Different things, right? So you open your Canva or Word document again, and you start editing on it, and then you changed it. You exported another PDF now, and suppose again you are like, no, I want to revert to the back one now. It's true that you have downloaded the previous one as well, but when we work on a project, when we are deploying a site or a web app or anything, it's basically we aren't deploying multiple sites. Means it's not like we are making changes and we are again deploying it to another domain or another subdomain. We are making changes and we are overriding the changes and deploying it on the same site, same domain. We are just updating the changes, right? So suppose I made a site, I was okay with it, I went to sleep, I got up and I was like, no, this thing isn't looking good, or this thing isn't looking good, and then I made those changes and I did all the required things, which we'll learn in Git and GitHub when we'll be talking about it. So I did those changes and I again updated, and the site was running okay with it. And or maybe when I was, yeah, one sec, or maybe when I was coding, like doing the changes, so at the deployment time somehow I did a mistake, there was a runtime error or maybe compile error, and my code isn't working, the website isn't loading, it's showing me some error, and I want to go back to my previous uh, website which was all okay, right? So we can use Git and GitHub to go back to a previous code, and the website will be all fine. I think it's clear. If any of you have used Snapseed for editing photos, even I'm not sure about Microsoft Word because I don't work there. I have a Mac, so I have Apple Notes app, Notes, which is like equivalent of Microsoft Word. So sorry, Pages, my bad. Okay, so in Pages, we have a feature we can scroll across the different versions of the file that I created. So I can like switch back to a previous version and stuff like that. So basically it's like in front of your eyes, you are seeing different versions of your image, say, or your website or your app, anything. And we have the same feature in Snapseed as well. We can go to our previous versions or do something else and stuff like that. This is version control. We are making, suppose, Android version 12, then 13, then 14. These are the different versions, right? So the same concept is also applied when you are making a project, app, website, no matter what it is. So we can switch between the versions, make changes, deploy them right away, and stuff like that. This is version control. Okay. And we have two things that we'll be talking about, Git and GitHub. Git is the tool that will help us with the version control. GitHub is the site where you'll be able to visualize everything. As Jeet showed his GitHub profile, you can see all the repositories, all the codes, the different types of code. Different types in the sense we have HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python, PHP, many languages, and we have many files. And it's also like we are dividing the problem into multiple, we are dividing the problem into semi-problems, and we are dealing with the semi-problems one at a time. So there will be different files for each of the problem, and they together will work to make my project happen. So in your Git repository, you'll be able to see everything for all the files that you used. Suppose it's like you have a different file for the login page, you have a different file structure there for the login page. For the search feature, you have a different file where you are just applying the logic of the search. For login, you have a different algorithm and stuff. Whatever you want to do it, you will be able to see it. Other people will be able to fork it. Fork basically means, in simple terms, is basically just copying the code. Okay, you're just copying someone else's code, maybe adding some features on your own, doing that stuff. That's basically forking. In GitHub, that's what it means. So on GitHub, you'll be able to see your project, see all the changes that you did. It will be like visible. Say, at this date, at this time, this change was initiated. This change was initiated. What was the, and even on GitHub, you will be able to see which code or snippet or the lines. And snippet is basically a small portion of the code. We refer it to as a snippet. So which lines were omitted, in the sense deleted or removed from the code, which lines were added, everything you'll be able to see in your GitHub repository. That's basically version control and Git and GitHub. I hope it's much clearer now. Is it, everyone?
Yeah,
it is very much clear.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mustaq.
So thank you, Mustaq, for sharing your insights. One more thing I want to add to this conversation is that regarding your attendance, it's like you will get a feedback form kind of thing, and regarding that you will get certificates at the end of the workshop. So please stay with us and fill the feedback form, which I'll share at the end of the meeting or in between the meeting. That depends when I create the form. So with this, we can now shift to the actual topic, or we can start the workshop with Jeet. If Jeet.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So
Okay,
we'll start now.
Yeah. Many of you said that you have done programming and all in different languages, Java, C, Python. So anybody wondering why we have chosen Python? Why Python? Anyone? Any guesses?
Yes, I want to know that there are many Python language, sorry, computer language. So which one is the best to code? Or I know that Python is easy comparatively from C++ and other, but why Python?
Okay, so first
Jeet, first say about what is programming language and why do we need it?
Yeah, I was starting from that.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt once. regarding the certificate kind of thing, so that will be given up upon the test scores, and it will be like LinkedIn shareable worthy certificate, so you can like edit it in your CV and stuff. Okay, sorry, Jeet, you can continue.
Noises, noises. So, first thing, programming or like programming languages were first introduced to make the like hardware, or you can say the software things works, means you can utilize them to utilize all those things, right? And these all are done some computations, or basically in simple words, some mathematical compute like calculations are done, right? In the CPU of your computer or phone or whatever device you are using. So different applications actually prefers different programming language. There is no such programming language called base programming language. So it depends on the thing that what you are doing regarding that. So like I am just specifying few of the applications. So what programming language is based for that application? Like if you are choosing web development, right? Like making websites or web apps. So the best programming language, or not only the best, one of the default programming language you should go is like JavaScript, and to make the like UI elements or the designing things, HTML and CSS. So HTML is not a programming language; it's a markup language, and CSS is styling. So for web development, HTML, JS means JavaScript, and CSS. And if we go to advance of like web development, there are many things like React, which are built upon HTML, CSS, JS, all this stuff like React, Angular, Web Angular, many things, right? And if we go towards making a software which is more hardware oriented, like if we are working on a Arduino or a Raspberry Pi or this kind of stuff, so C or C++ is like preferred because it has more control towards hardware, right? And if we are building something like related to game development, so there another programming language called C Sharp that is used, right? If you are building any mobile like Android application, so there are Java, Kotlin, or Dart. These three programming languages generally used. These things are made. If I'm building any backend, like the things that works on the backend of any like website, so there we use Python, Java, even C, Dart, all these things. So, and why we have chosen Python here is it's very easy is one of the good points, but not only because of easy, it's very versatile. You can do most of the things that you can do with any programming language through Python, because Python has an open library and it is one of the vast libraries among all programming languages. So if you can wonder what is a library. So library is a like special see, all programming language do have some functionalities. Okay, so the makers of the programming language has made some default functions, right? But we developers, we us like people like us maintain some libraries where we build different functionalities so that it can be used in the programming language other than the default functions, right? So the Python has maximum of the functions. That's why we are choosing Python, because all the different applications that I have told you all can be achieved through Python. Only one of the backside or drawback of Python is it's slightly slower because it's an interpreted based language. We will talk about interpretation and uh, compiler based language later on in the bootcamp. But yeah, for now you are like know that Python is little bit slower than the C and Java stuff. Let me show you a picture why Python. Uh, yeah, I hope it's visible.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so first of all, like object oriented. So we have talked about object oriented while I was presenting. Again, I'm saying is we can maintain a different like classes and modules of code, right? Like this is we can say some rules that we follow. It's modular, as I have said, that we can work in means many applications can be done through Python. Used for scraping. So scraping is basically all the websites that you see are like deployed somewhere. So to get the data or collect the data, we use scraping. So that can be done through Python. All the AI applications that you are seeing are mostly trained on Python. active and support communities. It is one of the most important thing that we have a huge community. So why community is important? Because if you suppose making any project, and of course you will face errors. So how will you solve them? If the programming, no one is using that programming language, but Python is one of the popular. So if you face any of the errors, it's highly likely that somebody has already faced it and fixed it and also written its tutorial online in different platforms like Stack Overflow, GitHub, and these areas, right? So having a great community is always preferred. And of course, it supports math and AI. All the AI things that you are seeing right now are 99% of the time written in Python only and dynamic, as I have said. Okay. So moving forward towards the Python only. I hope that question is clear why we're choosing Python.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So moving forward. So basically, we can go with two approaches to like code in Python, right? So one is the offline approach, like we can go to the python.org website and download its interpreter, and then we can use so for writing the code we need some editor. We can use Notepad, Notes, anything, but of course a professional editor is always recommended. So Visual Studio Code, VS Code in short form, many of you know. If I can share my screen, wait, and I'll show you the VS Code. Yeah, so this is the website of like Visual Studio Code, right? And this is the website of Python. So here in downloads, you can, if I am using macOS, but if you are in Windows, you will see a download for Windows. Just download it and install it, normal installation. Okay. And this is a VS Code, also same thing, download and install it. I have already installed, right? This is somewhat the interface that you can see, and this is, you can see some of the codes, some of the projects that I am already working on, right? This stuff. So, and another approach that I have shown, this is the go to the idx.dev. So idx.dev is a project of Google. So they are providing the VS Code thing in online. So you can simply search idx.google, idx Google. Okay, and this is a project idx. This link idx.dev, www.idx.dev. Just simply go here and click on get started. Okay, so some of this kind of interface will come. Just accept, okay, and then continue. And why I'm choosing this one instead of offline? Because many of you might not have like laptops, so you can use this thing in your phones as well. So you can code in phones as well. It's not recommended, but if you want to use, you can. Like this is basically a website only. So choose a Python Flask app, and give a name. Suppose I'm giving the name Bootcamp Python, right? And let it choose the default settings, and then click on create and wait for a few seconds. Okay, so this is basically a sandbox or kind of say virtualization of VS Code. So I will share my workspace with you all also. So if anybody wants to see what I have done, what codes I have written later on after this bootcamp ends or after today's session ends, so you can see along with me and like maintain yourself along with the bootcamp's pace. So let it create, wait for a few seconds, it will create on itself. Everybody, you can do now also, as we are like saying, you can do now, everybody. And if anyone face any problem, you can say now only.
Can we use Spider or means that is
Yeah,
already
you can
downloaded?
use any, many can use Jupyter, many must have used Jupyter, Spider, many have used VS Code. You can also use the Python's default IDE, not recommended, but yes, if you can use. But I am using this one because all of you can use it. Like it's easy to like maintain for all because everyone is not having a laptop. or a computer, right? But you can use any of the ID you are according to your preference. Refresh it once again. Also, I have created one of them here. Yeah, the Bootcamp Python. It's taking some time. Oh, it has been loaded. Okay. Say the same interface as we have seen my VS Code, na? Say the same interface in online only. The same thing. Right? That's why I am using IDX. Okay, you can use any, right? And just after loading, you have to wait for a few 1-2 minutes. Once all things are loaded, just select all and delete it. We'll start from scratch. Okay. Is any of you doing it right now? Anyone?
Yes, I am doing it right now.
Okay. So just inform me when you are ready. Okay, so one thing you might be wondering, you can see here it is written main.py. So main is the name of the file, and .py is the extension. Any Python file that we write uses a extension .py. Like in Java we use .java, in C we use .c. Same thing in Python we use .py. And for now, like don't focus on these things. We'll understand about it later.
Sorry, I'm ready.
Okay, everyone ready?
How many of you are doing right now? Please raise your hand. You will get a estimate.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, fine.
So all of you ready?
I need some
Wait
more
for a
time.
few minutes, please.
Okay. No issue. Just say when you're ready. If anybody is facing errors also, you can say.
It's a main.py file, na?
Main.py.
Okay, thank you.
And whatever it's written by default, just erase it.
Okay.
Control A, delete.
Yeah. Is everyone ready now? Anyone still loading? Guys? Can I start? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Huh? Yeah. Okay, so I think everyone has done. So I'm starting.
sir,
Yes.
স্যার আমি অ্যাকচুয়ালি ফোন থেকে করছি, তো এখানে একটা পেজ আসছে স্টার্ট বিল্ডিং ইওর অ্যাপ ইন দ্য ক্লাউড, তো ওখানে কোনটা সিলেক্ট করব?
Can you just share your screen once?
ওকে স্যার। স্যার আমি ফোন থেকে করছি কিন্তু ক্লাসে ল্যাপটপ দিয়ে জয়েন আছি, সো আমি ক্যামেরা থেকেই দেখিয়ে দেবো ফোনটা, ফুল স্ক্রিন।
Just I want to see the screen.
ওকে ওকে স্যার।
If you are on your laptop, so why not better do it on your laptop? I think Auditra.
ও সরি স্যার, আমি মিউট করে বলছিলাম, তো আমি অ্যাকচুয়ালি
না আমি বলছি
ওখানে দেখো পাইথন ফ্লাস্ক বলে একটা অপশন আছে, ওইটাই ক্লিক করো।
ওকে স্যার। দেন এখান থেকে এখানে মাই অ্যাপ ওয়ান।
হ্যাঁ বল।
What should be the server type, API server or web server?
You can choose, please choose web server.
So can you tell the website name once more?
idx.dev.
Okay, sir.
I am also writing it in the chat. It will be better, I think.
আচ্ছা স্যার, ওয়েব ফাইলটার কি করব, মানে ওটা খোলা আছে,
ওটা ক্লোজ করুন।
আচ্ছা ওকে।
Sir, what should I write where name your workspace?
Any name that you want. That's nothing to do with. Any name that you can understand. Like you can write bootcamp.
Okay, sir.
Everyone, one small thing. Please call us Dada or Didi.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can call us Bhai also. We are
small.
smaller.
Okay, so now we have our head of the department with us. So good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. So sorry I joined late because I was in another conference. I just came back. So hopefully everything is going well.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
great. Okay, Jeet, thank you for joining with us. And so who is the main lead of this? Who is the main speaker today?
So today is the intro session, so we are like introducing ourselves, we four of us, and now I'm just continuing the bootcamp, the intro of like setting up the environment for the Python coding and all.
Oh, great. So on which platform you will be doing?
As everybody might not have like laptop and stuff, so I have chosen idx.google.com. It's basically a online compiler or VS Code kind of thing for Python. So yeah.
Okay, will that be, I mean, the students can be capable of storing things there?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
And that mobile, they can also use
Yes, it's mobile friendly as well.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so please continue. Yeah.
So I hope everybody has done this, right? Everybody are in this page along with me. So we'll just start Python. So in Python, to show any output, we have a function named print. So print doesn't mean printing in a hardware page. It's printing just means
Jeet,
printing on the
are you showing your screen or?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. I hope it's now visible.
Yes.
Okay. So in Python, what we have is different functions, like pre-built functions, which comes with the Python installer only, right? So print is one of the like default function or inbuilt function, you can say, that shows the output that you want to show, right? So if I write here print, right? And give a bracket and like the things that we want to show, like we can write 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And if I see here is a icon of run. If I click here, so 1, 2, 3, 4 is like viewed, right? So in here, if I write within a quotation, so any string, so string is basically text. So if we want to print any text, we need to mention a quotation so that the Python can understand that this is a string or a text. So if I write here hello world and just run it, you can see hello world is visible here, right? And as we are seeing that programming language are capable of doing computations and calculations. So if here I write 23 plus 23, maybe, yeah. So you can see 46 is viewed. So it's performing the like mathematical computations here and just showing the output. So everybody understood what is print, right? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now what we'll do, we'll write a simple program, right, that takes two number as input and performs an addition between them. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll take variables. So what is a variable? Like in mathematics, what we take? X is a variable, let X equal to something, right? In maths, we do this, X, Y, Z. These are variables. So same in programming, we can take any like alphabets as variable. So we'll learn while we'll be learning in theory what is a variable. That time I'll be explaining more. But for now, let's assume that X is a variable and we can write here like 12 or 13 or anything. Anybody with any question? Okay. So another variable we can take is Y. You can write any number like 80. I'm just writing it. And we are writing here print. Okay. And under quotation, we can write addition of the two numbers is, and then give a comma and write X plus Y, right? And if we run it, first everyone see like what's happening. The addition of two numbers is 92. It's not showing X plus Y, it is showing 92. Why? Because now X is 12 and Y is 80 and the plus is called an operator. In mathematics also we call it operator. So it is performing the operation 12 plus 80, which is 92, and just showing it, right? Now what we want is we will give the input, not like written in the code. We will give the input here in the terminal, right? We can make it user interactive. So what we can do is, so we in maths we know integer, right? Everyone knows integer. It's the scale of numbers, like from minus infinity to plus infinity. In Python also it's same. So integer is said in Python as int, just a short form of integer. And if we give a bracket,
There's a question from Prithviraj Bishat.
yeah.
Instead of manually clicking on the run button, is there any keyboard shortcut like Control Enter in RStudio?
Yeah, there are many. If you like, I am using the web version, so here shortcuts will not work. But if you are using the Visual Code, there it's Control Enter for like running it, and Control Shift Enter for running in debug, like this one in dedicated terminal. I am using the web version. Most of you are also using the web version, so you can use this button also. Right? And also we can run it from the like terminal also. So if I write here like Python, then main.py, it will also run. Yeah. So there are many ways to run program. So what I was saying is we will make an integer function so that integer can be taken input, and then we will use input function. The input function is for inputting any text, number, anything. And right here, enter the first number, right? Just do with me, no need to understand anything. I will be explaining all the things while in the next classes and all. But for today, just do with me. If anybody is like getting confused, you can ask, but yeah, same thing. I'm writing input. Enter
Okay,
the,
this input will prompt, like ask the user to place the value, right?
yes, and that text you are writing here, it will show before that enter the second number, then it will ask that enter,
Okay, okay.
right? So this
Right,
text is
right.
for understanding what we need to enter. So everybody just write it. I will click on run. See if I can. Okay, so you can see enter the first number and a cursor has came now, right? So it's asking me to enter a number. So if I write here 50 and press enter, it is saying enter the second number. I can write here 80, press enter, and it is showing the output that we have written. The addition of two number is 130, right? So can you people understand how this thing is happening? Everyone?
Yes, yes.
Sir,
Yeah,
how to run the program? Could you please show again?
yeah. So in the top right corner, if you can see, there is a like a play icon, right? Run Python file, this one.
Yes, yes.
Just click there and it will run. And in like below there is a terminal where it is like showing the things. Everybody?
Yes.
Okay. So now it is doing the addition, right? Now what I will do is I'll just remove the addition and I will write a subtraction. Means just change the plus to minus and addition to subtraction. Right? And just run it again. So enter the first number, I'm using 80. So enter the second number, 30. So the subtraction of two number is 50. So you can now understand how your phones or like laptops calculator works. In background, they are using this kind of codes only to run things. Right, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a basic setup of a Python. We will
So we
not.
don't need to like write class, public class or something
No,
like
in
second bracket in
Python,
the beginning of the program or something.
yeah. Those are the OOPS concept. So in Python provide a versatile environment. You can use object-oriented programming. You cannot also use object-oriented programming. So as today we are starting, so I chose to simply show you how a simple program runs in Python, right? But of course, we will learn when we will be learning OOPS, we will be using classes, we will be using the other things, functions and all things. But for Python is very versatile, right? You can use classes and stuff. You can choose not to use them as well. Not in Java or
Dada, what
in.
is object oriented? What do you mean by
We
that?
will come to that in basic simple things. So whenever you do not in long, so typically in any software or things, one file is not used, right? There are many .py files, and on not there are thousands and thousands lines of code. Okay, so like if suppose you are writing code of, let me give you an example. Suppose Chrome, suppose a browser, right? There will be a file for searching. There will be a file for like displaying things. There will be a file for downloading. So inside of that file also in search, there will be a class where all the function of class will be written. There will be a class of image search where all the functions of image search will be written. So those to differentiate or to maintain a code, we use this object-oriented programming concept, right? To maintain or use the code in Java or so there are two kind of programming language actually. One is object-oriented, another is not. So in object-oriented, those programming languages which are object-oriented, that we maintain a class, and then there are many things like class methods and other things. In Java or in C++, by default we need to use oops. But Python, as it is very versatile, we can or we may or may not use this. Is it clear? Who was asking?
Yes. Dada.
So this is one of the another reason why we chose Python for like teaching. So it's very easy to start with actually. Okay, anyone faced any error while doing this one? Anyone? Anyone faced error? No one.
Acha, Dada, I have a question, but
Yeah.
not. Acha, when will we use the first bracket, and how we will know that then it needs to be used third bracket? Because sometimes when I do Python like simple coding, I simply confuse the third bracket and first bracket concept, so I misplace or replace it. So how to understand that it requires a third bracket or it requires a first bracket thing?
Okay, so in Python, okay, let me see. So whenever we are using any function, like input, so that time you are using this normal bracket. This is called, I think, what bracket is it? Third or first? I don't know. Musab?
It's the first bracket.
Okay, it's the first bracket, right? Okay, and while iterating any things, like if we have a list of things like list one, suppose just for showing you, we have a list. So list is always defined with these square brackets, always.
Yes,
Okay,
yes. Okay.
so this is the rule. So if I like use 1,
These are
2,
kind of
3,
predefined rules, so you have to play
yeah,
with it.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now if I want to show the third item of this list, if I want to print it, right? So I'm okay. So in Python, if you use has, that's a comment. So when we use comment, whenever we need to write anything and not use it for programming, like if we want to make any like
Your
understanding
voice
stuff,
is
like
breaking.
okay, is it for everyone?
No, actually.
No, actually,
I think it's
no.
a problem. Oh, it's okay. You can
No.
continue.
Okay, so if we use has in front of any like line, that thing is commented out, and that thing is not used for like compile or like basically executing. Right. So now if I want to print the third element, so here, okay, in programming, all the indexing or like numbering starts from 0. Okay, so the first element will be the 0th element, the second element will be the first element, and the third like numbered element will be the second element. We can, what we do will list one of list one of that time we will be using square brackets, like when use 2. Right now, if I run, you can see 3 is printed. Okay, And curly bracket in Python is used for dictionary, right? So what is dictionary? It's a variable where key and pair values are stored, right? So this curly bracket we can use like name and then give a colon and then write Jeet, right? Then give a comma, then write language, and then write Python, right? So this is the use of curly bracket. I hope it's clear now.
Acha. Yeah. Yes.
And by the way, the list one that you see there, it's you can imagine it as a 1D matrix. 1D matrix. Yeah, 1D matrix. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Any more questions? Anybody? Related to anything related to programming, related to this bootcamp, what we'll be doing and all. Anybody?
Anyone.
Anything related to programming.
Just throw it out.
Yeah.
দাদা
Any
বলছিলাম যে
technical.
কার্লি ব্র্যাকেটের কাজটা কি একটুখানি বলবো একবার?
হ্যাঁ, বাংলাতেই বলছি, হ্যাঁ, যারা আরো বুঝতে পারেনি। তো কার্লি ব্র্যাকেট হলো ডিকশনারিকে লাইক ইউজ করতে আমরা পাইথনে ইউজ করি। তো ডিকশনারি হলো এমন একটা ভেরিয়েবল বা ডেটা টাইপ যেখানে কি আর ভ্যালু পেয়ার, মানে এই যেমন নেমটা হচ্ছে কি, তার ভ্যালু হচ্ছে জিত, বুঝতে পারলে? যেমন ভাব ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ, তার ভ্যালু হচ্ছে পাইথন, রাইট? যেমন আরেকটা জিনিস যদি ইউজ করি, সাপোজ পাসওয়ার্ড, তো পাসওয়ার্ডের ভ্যালু হচ্ছে সাপোজ 1 2 3 4. So this is called key and value
মানে
pair.
if we ask them to print name, then it will give us output Jeet, like that.
Now if inside of this square bracket, if I write here name, right? See what's happened. It's printing Jeet. Now, so I am just using the key to get the value, right?
And if we do the opposite, then it will give us error. Means if we say
So value is not reduced in this way. There's a different set of functions to get the key using the value. So while I will be teaching you the variables, that time I will be of course teaching you dictionary. That time I will show, because now if I show you, it will get complicated.
Okay. হ্যাঁ, ঠিক আছে।
আচ্ছা, এটা জাভাস্ক্রিপ্টের অবজেক্টের মতো লাগছে
হ্যাঁ,
অনেকটা।
সেম থিং। জেসন যদি কেউ জানিস তোরা, যে জাভাস্ক্রিপ্ট অবজেক্ট, তো সেম জিনিস জেসন্স। তো এখানে যদি আমি একটা ফাইল বানাইও, সাপোজ এখানে বাইরে test.json, তো জেসন বেসিক্যালি একটা ফাইল যেখানে শুধু ডিকশনারি থাকে। এখানে ভাব লিখলাম নেম, সেম জিনিস। তো এটা হচ্ছে একটা জাভাস্ক্রিপ্ট অবজেক্ট জেসন, রাইট? তো সেম জিনিসটাই দেখ আমি ওখানে পাইথনে লিখেছি অ্যাজ ডিকশনারি।
হ্যাঁ, ঠিক আছে দাদা, বুঝতে পেরেছি।
Anyone, anything else?
I am facing error in this one.
Which one?
The name Shreya language Python. Invalid syntax.
Have you used the like quotations on every like name, Jeet, everyone, every string? Have you used the quotation? So if anybody is not getting, I'm just zooming in. So if anybody can see it, I don't know why it's not. Ah. So the basic syntax is you have to use a variable first, right? Then give a equal to sign, and then start with the curly brackets, right? And inside of curly brackets, I'm rewriting again. So you have to use one like given quote. So for string, you need to use quotation and write anything like name or anything. Then give a colon like is to anything, and then write a name like Jeet. And while using it, you just need to write name. Have you used the same thing?
Yes.
Still, you are getting there. Can you share your screen now? Or screenshot, anything, so that I can see what you have written.
Can you see it?
No, I think it's not visible. Present your screen.
Sir?
Oh, so okay. So between Shreya and language, you have to use comma for different key pair, na value. So you have used say
Yes.
semicolon there as well.
Jeet,
There.
Jeet, also tell her in the terminal also there is an arrow that is showing where the error is.
Yeah. So if you can see the above of the syntax here, it is pointing out it with the arrow that you have used the wrong symbol here. That's the is to one between Shreya and language. You can see.
Yes.
Okay. So you have to use that comma like different key and value pair, na? Just replace it with a comma.
স্যার আমি
Yes.
দাদা বলছি এখানে একটা বাল্ব দেখাচ্ছে মানে আইডিয়া টাইপের কিছু এটা কি একটু বলে দেবে
কোথায় বলতো?
আমি স্ক্রিনে দেখাচ্ছি
Okay, so it's basically hint.
আচ্ছা
In VS Code, I'm sharing my screen. Is it got shared?
ইয়েস
So, এই যে bulb type তো? If I click here, it's giving me some hints that do you want to use this one? Do you want to this one? These are basically some help that VS Code is providing by default to you for easier. এখনের জন্য কোনো দরকার নেই এগুলো ইউজ করা।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
বেসিক্যালি কোনো ফাংশন ভাবে আমি বানাতে চাই বাট আমি অত কিছু লিখতে চাই না, তো বাই ডিফল্ট একটা টেমপ্লেটেড ফাংশন আমার জন্য লিখে দেবে অলরেডি।
আচ্ছা
দাদা একটা কোয়েশ্চেন করবো?
হ্যাঁ।
বলছিলাম যে ওই যে কার্লি ব্র্যাকেটে যেটা লেখা আছে, এবার তারপরে যখন আমরা প্রিন্ট করছি তখন ওখানে যে ওই ইন্ডেক্সটা আমরা বসাচ্ছি মানে এই যে ওই থার্ড ব্র্যাকেটটা, তো ওটা যদি না দিই ওটা তো অসুবিধা হবে না, কারণ আগে তো আমরা যে ফাংশন ডিফাইন করেছি ওখানে তো থার্ড ব্র্যাকেট নেই, মানে ইন্ডেক্সটা নেই তো। মানে ধরো ওই লিস্ট ওয়ানে যখন আগে থার্ড ব্র্যাকেট ধরো 1, 2, 3 দিয়ে বা আগে যেমন নেম কমা
তখন এটা একটা লিস্ট ছিল, এই 1, 2, 3 এটা একটা লিস্ট, মানে এখন লিস্ট 1 এটা লিস্ট 1টা লিখে রেখেছি, তাই এর জায়গায় যদি আমি এবিসি লিখি, হ্যাঁ তো এবিসি এখনের জন্য এটা লিস্ট,
হ্যাঁ
তাই
তখন
আমি
এই
কার্লি
ফাং-
ব্র্যাকেট ইউজ করতে লাগলাম, তাই কিন্তু এটা
হুম,
একটা ডিকশনারি হয়ে গেল।
হ্যাঁ মানে
বুঝতে পারলি
এবার
তো?
যখন
যখন
প্রিন্টের ওখানে তো তাহলে হচ্ছে ওটার কি কাজ আছে কোনো, মানে ওই ওই থার্ড ব্র্যাকেটটার?
এবার থার্ড ব্র্যাকেটটা যখন স্পেসিফিক ওই ভ্যালুটার ওই কিটার ভ্যালুটাকে দেখতে চাই তখন ইউজ করব। আর যদি ভাব আমি না চাই, যদি পুরোটাকে আমি প্রিন্ট করতে চাই, যেমন ভাব নেম যদি আছে ভাব জিৎ, আর কমা দিয়ে ভাব আর একটা লেখা আছে ক্লাস, সাপোজ ভাব লেখা আছে 3, ঠিক আছে? আর আমি ভাব কোনো বেসিক কিছু না করতে গিয়ে আমি শুধু প্রিন্ট এবিসি করলাম, ঠিক আছে, নর্মাল। দেখ পুরো যে লাইক ডেটাটা সেটা দেখিয়ে দিল আমার। দেখতে
আই
পাচ্ছিস
থিঙ্ক
সবাই?
অরিজিতের ওই কোশ্চেনটা কি ছিল যে তখন তো একটাই কি ভ্যালু
হ্যাঁ
পেয়ার ছিল, তো তখন যদি আমরা নেম স্পেসিফাই করে যেমন শুধু
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা,
জিত
না
ভ্যালুটা
তাও ওই
পাচ্ছিলাম,
ব্র্যাকেট শুদ্ধ
ডিফারেন্ট
এটা
হবে
দেখাতে
দুটো,
আর কি।
আই গেস দুটোর
হ্যাঁ
আউটপুট ডিফারেন্ট হবে না
হ্যাঁ,
এটাতে।
দেখিয়ে দিচ্ছি, আমি দেখিয়ে দিচ্ছি, আমি
ওটাই।
দেখিয়ে দিচ্ছি। আচ্ছা, যখন একটাই আছে এখানে, তো আমি যদি এখানে ইয়ে করি, দ্য কার্লি ব্র্যাকেটের সাথে মানে কি ভ্যালু পেয়ার দুটোই প্রিন্ট করেছে, বেসিক্যালি গোটা ডিকশনারিটাই প্রিন্ট করেছে এখানে। আর আমি যদি এখানে এবিসি অফ, মানে এই যে থার্ড ব্র্যাকেট দিচ্ছি এটাকে মানে
হ্যাঁ
ভাষায় বলতে গেলে বলে অফ। অফ যদি আমি লিখি নেম, হুম, এবার যদি আমি প্রিন্ট করি, দেখ এখানে কোনো ব্র্যাকেটিং এর ব্যাপারই নেই, জাস্ট ভ্যালুটা আমি আউটপুট দিয়েছে জিত। ইটস রিয়েলি ডিপেন্ডস অন তোর চাইটা কি, মানে জিত চাই না নেম ইস টু জিত, কোনটা দেখাতে চাই সেটার উপর ডিপেন্ড করবে তুই কি প্রিন্ট করবি।
আচ্ছা ঠিক
বুঝতে
আছে।
পারছিস?
এবার যদি উপরের এবিসি এটা নেওয়া হচ্ছে ওখানে যদি ইন্ডেক্স মানে ওই থার্ড ব্র্যাকেট দিয়ে যদি ওই নেম কোলন দিয়ে জিত কমা দিয়ে আবার অন্য কিছু দিয়ে লেখা হলো, তখন
হুম,
যদি আমরা ওই 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 প্রিন্ট অফ
হ্যাঁ,
এবিসি।
যখন ডিকশনারি ইউজ করছি না, তখন
হুম,
আর ইন্ডেক্সিং হয় না, তখন মানে
আচ্ছা
ডিকশনারিতে কোনো নাম্বারিং মেনটেন হয় না, ওখানে জাস্ট কি ভ্যালু পেয়ার ওখানে আগে পেছনে হতেই পারে। বাট যখন লিস্ট করছি তখন একটা সার্টেন অর্ডারস মেনটেন করে।
তো তো ওই ক্ষেত্রে মেনটেন হবে না তাই তো?
হ্যাঁ, তো যখন
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে,
ডিকশনারি ইউজ করবে, যখন কার্লি ব্র্যাকেট ইউজ করবে, তখন কোনো নাম্বারিং এর ব্যাপার নেই।
একদম ঠিক আছে।
কারণ বল।
আচ্ছা আমি বলছি, ভাব তোরা এটাকে অ্যাজ ম্যাপিং হিসেবেও ভিজুয়ালাইজ করতে
হ্যাঁ
পারিস
হ্যাঁ, একদম একদম একদম, যে
যে
জিত এটা ম্যাপ করা আছে কোথায়, নেমে, বা
হুম,
নেম ম্যাপ করা আছে জিতে, যেভাবে দেখবি।
ম্যাথামেটিক্সের ভাষায় ফাংশন।
বেসিক
all are related.
Yes.
আর কোনো প্রশ্ন
আর
থাকলে
আর কারো কোনো প্রশ্ন?
Sir, I am facing some error.
Can you share your screen and don't call me sir?
Dada.
স্ক্রিনটা শেয়ার করতে হবে। Really hard to see. Print list of name list. Okay, so and what's the error? নিচে টার্মিনালটা দেখাবো। ওকে, গট ইট। এবার ক্যামেরাটা অফ করে বলে দিচ্ছি। So what like mistake you have done is, তুই হ্যাশ গুলো দেখ প্রতিটা লাইনের পরে লিখেছিস, এটা লাইনের প্রথমে লিখতে হয় হ্যাশ গুলো। বুঝতে পারলি?
Can you please explain once more?
হ্যাঁ, এই যে হ্যাশ গুলো আমি ইউজ করেছি না, এগুলো কি করেছি, আমি এই কোডটাকে বেসিক্যালি কমেন্ট আউট করেছি, মানে এই কোডটা আমি এখন ইউজ করতে চাই না বাট লেখাটা রাখতে চাই, তো আমি ওই লাইনটা শুরুতে হ্যাশটাকে ইউজ করেছি। বাট তুই যেটা করেছিস কোডে, সেটা হচ্ছে এই লাইনটা লেখা আছে তারপরে দেখ তুই হ্যাশটা এখানে ইউজ করেছিস, ওর জন্য তোর ওটা প্রবলেম করছে, তোকে লাইনের শুরুতে হ্যাশটা ইউজ করতে হবে। বা চাইলে এখনের জন্য এই লাইনগুলোকে মুছেও দিতে পারিস, কোনো কাজে তো লাগছে না।
Okay, thank you.
এক্সকিউজ মি জিৎ,
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ,
বলছি ফার্স্ট ক্লাস যেহেতু, তো লিস্ট অবধি চলে গেলে অনেকে একটু আনকমফোর্টেবল আনইজি ফিল করতে পারে, কারণ কি অনেকে প্রথমবার একটা প্রোগ্রামিং ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ শিখছে, তো লাইক নেক্সট ক্লাস থেকে একদম হাতে ধরে বেসিক ভেরিয়েবলস এ
তো
কনস্ট্যান্ট
হ্যাঁ, আমি ওটাই বলতে চাচ্ছিলাম যে লাইক এটা জাস্ট শোয়িং যে হাউ প্রোগ্রামিং ইজ ডান অ্যান্ড গেটিং কমফোর্টেবল উইথ দ্য এনভায়রনমেন্ট, রাইট? যে এই প্ল্যাটফর্মটা বা ভিএস কোড বল বা আইডিএক্স বল, এখানে জাস্ট কমফোর্টেবল হয়ে লেখাটা স্টার্ট করার জন্য আজকে জাস্ট বললাম আমায় দেখে দেখে কর, ঠিক আছে? So from next day, so Modip and Mustaq will take designing concept from root, how to start with programming, how to think about writing a code. কোড লেখার আগে ভাবতে হবে কি লিখবো কোডে, like we need to think what we need to write, right? So from there we will start, and in the first Python, from basics, from like 1 to 3 of Python we will start. So no worries if you are not understanding anything, or what is ABC, what is print, what is length, anything. So we will talk about each and every details from ground zero in the next step, just to make you comfortable and feel yourself that I am a programmer. So just I have told you to follow me today.
Acha Dada, after the class, will we get all the instruction in a PDF
Yeah,
form?
you will get every day. We'll get the we will be using any PPT or like PDF, anything we will be using. So every day we will be sharing that notes and all. And this workspace that I am using today will be shared with you guys. This same workspace will be used every day. So প্রতিদিনের যে কোডটা এখানে আপডেট হয়ে যাবে, তোরাও আমার ওয়ার্কস্পেসটা এই যে ভিউটা এটা দেখতে পাবি। তো কোনো চিন্তা নেই, আমি লিংকটা ওই গ্রুপে দিয়ে দেবো।
What is the use of hashtag in this?
Hashtag is used for like commenting, like suppose while generally কি হয় একটা কোম্পানিতে বা যে কোনো কোম্পানিতে একা কেউ তো মানে কোড করে না, অনেকে কোড করে। তো এই লাইনটা কি করছে বা এর নেক্সট ফিউ লাইনস কি বোঝাতে চাইছে, যদি আমি দেখাতে চাই তো এখানে আমি হ্যাশ দিয়ে লিখতে পারি, দিস ইজ আ ডিকশনারি। So anybody who is reading this code na, he will understand, but this thing will not affect anything in the output. মানে যখন আউটপুট হয় বা প্রোগ্রামটা যখন এক্সিকিউট হয় এই পার্টটাকে বাদ দিয়ে দেয়, বাট টু জাস্ট টু আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড what is written we use this commenting or hashtag. In Python you use hashtag, in Java you use slash, in C also we use double slash. Yes.
মানে নরমালি টেক্সট লিখলে ওটা মেবি কোডে এক্সিকিউট হয়ে এরর দিতে পারবে, এটাকে
যদি
নরমালি
আমি
লিখে দেখা।
এরকম কিছু লিখতে যাই এখানে তো এটা একটা এরর দিয়ে দেবে,
এটা তো
তো
দেবে না,
জাস্ট
বাট ওই ইজ যেটা
হ্যাঁ,
আছে, হ্যাঁ
তো
ওটাকে একবার নরমাল করে একবার প্রিন্ট করো।
হ্যাঁ, যদি আমি এটা হ্যাশ ছাড়া যদি লাইক
কোনো
করতে যাই না,
কমেন্ট দিচ্ছি,
দেখ এখানে বলছি ইনভ্যালিড সিনট্যাক্স, এই যে দিস কি পাইথন বুঝতে পারছি না, কারণ কি এটা তো কিছু ফাংশন না বা কোনো ফাংশনালিটি না অফ পাইথন। So that's why we can keep a hashtag, so that the Python understand that anything written after the hashtag is not for me, it's for the user, right? Whoever using the or writing the code.
তো এই পার্টটা এক্সিকিউট হবে না বেসিক্যালি।
Got it?
আর হ্যাশটা হচ্ছে লাইন লেভেল, মানে লাইন একটা লাইনকে রাইট সাইডে পুরোটা তোর ইয়ে করে দেয়, কমেন্ট আউট করে দেয়।
মানে হ্যাশ এর রাইটে যা থাকবে ওই পার্টটা কমেন্ট আউট হয়ে
বাস
যাবে
ওই
ওই
লাইনটা পর্যন্ত, নেক্সট লাইনে কোনো কিছু এফেক্ট
নেক্সট
হয় না।
লাইনে কিন্তু আবার ওটা ইউজ হবে। তো
হ্যাঁ,
এই লাইনটাকে আমার যদি কমেন্ট করতে হয় তো আমি এই লাইনে গিয়ে আমি কোথাও যেখানে যে পার্টটা আমি হ্যাশ করতে, তো এখানে গিয়ে আমি হ্যাশ ইউজ করব, কাইন্ড অফ।
তো যেখানে হ্যাশ ইউজ হবে তার রাইট সাইডে পুরো লাইনটা কমেন্ট আউট হয়ে যাবে।
This commenting is like very much necessary, কেন কি যখন বড় থাউজেন্ডস এন্ড থাউজেন্ডস লাইনস অফ কোড লেখে বা লিখবি, তো তখন নিজেই বোঝার জন্য যে 10 দিন আগে আমি এটা কেন লিখেছিলাম, কি জন্য লিখেছিলাম, তো কমেন্ট যদি করে রাখি যে দিস ফাংশন ইজ ফর দিস ওয়ান, দিস ফাংশন ইজ ফর দিস ওয়ান, তো it will be easy for you to understand, or for anyone who is checking the code to understand, right?
And where do I use the colon and comma? Like how will I understand where to use it?
হ্যাঁ, তো এটাই আমরা যখন নেক্সট ডেসে সিনট্যাক্সেস গুলো পড়বো, মানে ফ্রম বেসিক যে ফাংশনস গুলো পড়বো, ওখানে এভরি ফাংশন হ্যাজ ইটস ওন সিনট্যাক্স, রাইট? So there only we will be knowing what to use comma, what to use colon, what to use quotation, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody? Anything? Anybody? Okay. Okay, so Rigam, I think we are in the end of today's bootcamp. You can like give any instruction in the end note if you have.
Yeah, it was a wonderful experience on the first day of the bootcamp. I suppose everyone of us have enjoyed. I request every one of you to like fill up the feedback form which I have shared in the comment section. Would you like me to like share it in the group as well?
Yes, I mean Dada.
Please. Okay, then I'll share the feedback form in the group as well. So, Imni, overall, how have you enjoyed? Any one of you can like unmute and say. So, who have I on my screen? Zaina Afroz.
Yes.
So, how have you enjoyed today's meeting or today's workshop?
It was an amazing experience. Yeah, and I like the session a lot because it started from scratch, and I am totally a beginner in this field. So yeah.
Even if you have some kind of questions like we all have, so the questions will be cleared in the all throughout the workshop. So we'll start again from the basic tomorrow and the days coming. So
Okay, so
next,
just one thing, I have shared today's workshop, the workspace that I have used, the codes that I have written, I have like shared in the group. And for the next days also, I will be coding on that workspace only. So if anyone want to like keep themselves updated with the code, they can check out that one.
okay. So the workspace link has been shared in the group.
Sir, Dada, error opening দেখাচ্ছে. Means it's showing an error opening workspace. User is not authorized on this resource.
Okay.
Same here, sir.
Okay. Let me check it. Okay, it will be like solved in the back end. মনে হয় পারমিশনস দিতে হবে, তো আমি দেখছি ওটা।
Okay, so overall any comments?
প্রবলেম হলে আমি নেক্সট ডেটে তোদের ইমেলস গুলো দিবি, আমি ওখানে অ্যাড করে দেবো।
আচ্ছা, তো আমি ওই ইমেলের যে লিস্ট আছে সেটা পাঠিয়ে দেবো।
ওকে দ্যাট উইল বি বেটার।
ঠিক আছে।
আর মিন টাইম যদি কেউ প্র্যাকটিস এন্ড অল করে, তারা এমনি গ্রুপসে কোশ্চেন এন্ড অল করতে পারে।
হ্যাঁ, অলওয়েজ ওপেন।
হ্যাঁ, গ্রুপটা মানে সবসময় ওপেন আছে যে কোনো ধরনের কোয়েশ্চেন করার জন্য। ফিডব্যাক ফর্মটাই অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স হিসেবে ধরা হবে, মানে কটা ফিডব্যাক পাওয়া গেছে সেই অনুযায়ী অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স হবে। আর এমনি আমরা দেখতেই পাচ্ছি কার অ্যাটেন্ড করছে, তো দ্যাট ইজ দ্য থিং। গ্রুপেও ইনফর্ম করা হবে, বাট অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স উইল অলসো বি আ ফ্যাক্টর অন ইয়োর সার্টিফিকেটস। So please try to like attend the entire session, or if you have any issue, please inform any of us that what kind of issue you are facing on your side, so যাতে অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সটা দিয়ে দিতে পারি।
আর যদি কারোর এমনি ভিএস কোড সেটআপ করতে অসুবিধা হয়ে থাকে, তাহলে একটা টিউটোরিয়াল পাঠিয়ে দেওয়া হবে আজকে সেটার জন্য। এমনি যদি পাইথন এন্ড অল যদি কেউ না সেটআপ করতে পেরে থাকে।
হ্যাঁ দাদা, ওই টিউটোরিয়ালটা ওটা দিয়ে দিও, তাহলে একবার মানে রিচেক করে নেওয়া যাবে।
হ্যাঁ, ওটা পাঠিয়ে দেবো। আর এমনি এগুলোর রেকর্ডেড সেশনসও কালকের মধ্যে ইউটিউবে পেয়ে যাবে তোমরা। আমরা লাইক ওয়েবসাইটটা লাইভ হয়ে গেলে ওখানে কোর্সের আকারে পেয়েই যাবে পরবর্তী ক্ষেত্রে। ওয়েবসাইটটা এখনো রেডি হয়নি, ওটা আগামী 12 দিনের মধ্যে হয়ে যাবে। আর এটাই।
ইউটিউবের লিংকটাও তাহলে একবার একটু শেয়ার করে দেবে আরেকবার।
সেটা শেয়ার করে দেওয়া যাবে।
হ্যাঁ, ওটা আপলোড হয়ে যাক আমাদের, তারপর করে দেওয়া হবে।
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ দাদা।
Okay, so any more questions? Anyone? Okay, so with that, we have reached the end of the first session.
দাদা
হুম
যে ওয়ার্কস্পেসটা শেয়ার করেছো ওটা যারা ভিজুয়াল স্টুডিও দিয়ে খুলবে মানে ওটা কি ভিজুয়াল স্টুডিও দিয়ে আমি অ্যাক্সেস করতে পারবো?
না, এটা আপাতত যে ওয়ার্কস্পেসটা শেয়ার করা আছে ওটা অনলি ফর লাইক আইডিএক্স, বাট আমি প্যারালালে আজকে তো বেসিক্যালি কিছু করাইনি, বাট যখন কোডিং স্টার্ট করব তখন প্যারালালে একটা গিটহাব রিপোজিটরি মেনটেন করব। তো সেটা কেউ ভিজুয়াল স্টুডিও কোডে করুক, কেউ স্পাইডারে করুক, বা কেউ টার্মিনালে করুক, যে যেখানে করবে ওটা লাইক সিঙ্ক হয়ে যাবে। আজকে তো বেসিক্যালি কিছু করিনি, তো আজকে আর ওটা করলাম না, পরে ওটা শেয়ার করবো, লাইক দেখিয়ে দেবো কিভাবে সিঙ্ক করতে হবে।
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ।
Any more questions? Acha, so we'll wrap up for today. Thank you everyone and good night. Thank you speakers.
Thank you, Dada. Good night.
So I'm ending the meeting. Okay, Pornabho has raised the hand. Pornabho?
না ওটা এমনি হয়ে গেল, আমি
আচ্ছা
কল
ঠিক
করতে
আছে।
চাইছিলাম।
Okay, so good night.